So another big thing that most people don't know, and I'm lucky enough to know it because I run an accelerator, is when people raise money, 70% of the money goes to advertising. So think about how crazy this is. This is why Google and Facebook are such big businesses. All these companies that are raising millions, billions of dollars, they're spending 70% of that in Google and Facebook. Crazy, right? So again, me trying to hack the system, I'd rather create content on Facebook and YouTube than pay for ads only. Of course, I'm going to pay for ads as well, but once I have what's called product market fit. What is product market fit? Product market fit means I have a product that there's a market that's willing to pay for it. Until that day that I don't know that people are willing to pay my price for the product I made, doesn't really make sense to pay for ads. Unless, again, you have venture capital money that wants you to do that, because that's what venture capital does, right? They want the startup to grow fast, so they give it money to buy ads, to grow fast. Again, I don't want to grow this fast because few reasons. This is very new space. Like, I don't want to do something and then I realize there's a different thing that I didn't see. Another big thing is I want to control it as much as possible so the community can own it. Once you take on venture capital, especially early, sometimes they could decide where your company goes. And you have to you have to take their advice because they paid for it. They own it, right? So if you raise large amounts of money and now you own less of the company than the venture capital, than the people who invested in your company, they get to decide, right? And of course, the later that happens, the better, because even Microsoft, Bill Gates he owns less than 10% of Microsoft. Amazon, Jeff Bezos owns less than 50% of Amazon. But that's after 20 years, right? So again, early on, you want to keep as much of the community control as possible, right? I'm building this for a community, my community. I want to make sure that it's built in a way that actually helps my community. I want to have to build it too fast because I took on this type of money that means I need to grow it fast. So there's all these different pieces, right? So that's just the mind of the kind of things I got to think through. But right now, like I said, the bot is working. I'm building. I got to kind of decide, and maybe you guys can help me, anybody that's willing to comment. I got to decide on, should I build the user interface? Because right now you got to be kind of a nerd to use this, right? You got to know how to code. So only I have it running, the only person having it running. If I tried to have somebody else run it, they need to know how to code. I have to give them access to the code, all this crazy stuff. So I could build an interface that lets anybody use it, but I will have to charge. Or I could build the bill pay part first and then build the interface. Why do you even think about that? It sounds like it's a no-brainer, right? Build the thing that you can make money from. My issue is, if I build the UI, user interface, but people can't pay their bills easily, then they probably won't pay. Because if you're bringing your money in to pay your bills, but it's not easy to pay your bills, you still got to take a few more steps, which is not that hard, to be honest, but I just know people are lazy. User experience, you got to try to make things easy for people. It's not that hard to have people doing it, but I know most people won't do it. And I need the most amount of people to be willing to pay for this. So right now, my struggle is, again, if I build the part that makes it easy for people to pay their bills, it's going to cost me $1,500 a month. For everybody else to pay their bills easily, I got to pay $1,500 a month. This is where venture capital usually comes in, because a venture capitalist will give me the money to pay that monthly fee and just let people do it. And right now, the business cannot afford $1,500 a month because it's crazy. If nobody's doing this and I'm paying $1,500 a month, that's just money going down the hole. I need to know people are willing to pay for this before I pay that $1,500, right? But the payoff of the idea is paying the bill. So if nobody pays the bill, or they end up just stopping because they don't want to do it, then I'm kind of screwed, right? So that's again a challenge, right? So right now I'm talking to people, I'm talking to potential customers and saying, all right, I kind of need a list of people that are willing to pay. So what's that mean? That means I got to create a pricing structure that people say, you know what? I would pay that. So that's more work again, right? So this is where, again, I'm going to walk you through me building this from scratch. I'm going to build this in public. Of course, I'm not going to show you the code every day, but I'm going to build this in public, meaning I'm going to talk about how I'm building it. I'm going to try to make it as open source as possible and still protect my IP. But in Web3, it's really hard to do that. Anyway, I got to really talk to lawyers and stuff, because at the end of the day, this is what I tell people. I didn't invent this. I discovered it, right? Like, it's not like, it's like math. Like, did somebody invent 1 + 1 = 2, or did they just discover it, right? I discovered this system. Now I got to figure out how to give it to as many people. And to be honest, of course, there are going to be people that are going to try to copy it once they understand it. But I even have something for them in the chamber waiting. Actually, I have a few things in the chamber that I'm just going to roll out as soon as I see the competition coming. And again, I will not talk about those things publicly. The investors will know, though. So, yeah, I mean, on the overall, you know, when you create an idea, you need to get buy-in from the customers, the potential customers, that the problem you're solving, they believe it's a problem and they're willing to pay for it, because a business is only able to stay alive if it can make money. So I need to figure out what would people pay for. And right now, the way I'm selling it, I'm telling people you're going to make money paying your bills. So if the system doesn't make paying your bills easy enough, that's a risk. In my class, in my course and community, retireyourbills.com, I'm teaching people how to do it by hand. Again, I don't see many people doing it yet, right? And again, I don't have millions of followers or anything yet, but I have about 10 people paying their bills right now and investing the money. And I'm talking thousands of dollars. Like, I have one person who's investing $4,000 a month, when before that they were investing $500 a month. That's a big deal. That's like 8 times more money that is growing for them every month. That is insane, right? So again, there's multiple paths. I'm giving all the paths. The free path, watch my content. I show you how to do it. The one level of interest in, give me your email and I'll show you how to do it even further. The final level of interest that is the most rewarding and helps me build this is paying to be a coach and community member. Again, it's not like hundreds of thousands of dollars, not even thousands of dollars. And that will, 1, I'll help you one-on-one. 2, it will help me build the automation, right? So again, that's how things work, right? When you look at Tesla's first car was very expensive because they needed the money to build the factories, right? They couldn't make the first car super cheap because they needed the money. Eventually, over time, it gets cheaper and cheaper. But who wins? The early investors make the most money. The early buyers, they are supporters and they are helping the company. They don't get equity for buying cars, though. And that's where, again, I have tricks up my sleeve. I want everybody to be an owner of products that they own, especially AI products that they use, especially AI products. I do believe it's super important for anybody building AI to allow the community to own it, because if it starts decimating the amount of jobs that are currently available, at least people can make money from the automations that took their job. You know, that's my hope. That's how I'm going to do things. Again, one step at a time. Right now, I'm using all my own money. I haven't even taken $1 of investor money just yet. I will. But these are accredited investors, right? So these are people that are already rich, which is kind of lucky for them that they keep getting to make more money.